Hey everyone, welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel. We're going to be talking about everything XRP, really analyzing and taking a look at what's happening and of course what we could be expecting going into Wednesday morning, the day of the FOMC meeting. Before we are obviously entering the FOMC meeting, the market is already kind of seeing a retracement, and I did discuss this in my XRP update a few hours back, how I personally think that we're already starting to see the market react to the FOMC meeting coming up, and it's already kind of preparing itself. And I'm kind of going back in time and taking a look at the previous FOMC meetings and what kind of impact they do tend to have on the market. Market actually starts seeing a retracement before the day of, and the day of, rather if it's increase or not, you do tend to see a market see a little bit of an uptick. So are we going to see that happen tomorrow? We'll see what happens. But as of recording this update, Bitcoin is pushing towards the upside from the $103,000 retest that we did see a few hours back. But XRP down about 3.6% right now. As far as the price is concerned, $2.17, down 1.8% in Bitcoin comparative. Valuation at 127.7 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume at about $3 billion. But before we get into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer: anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in cryptocurrency. So crypto and AI czar David Sachs says, the Genius Act provides regulatory clarity, enhanced consumer protection, and extends the US dollar dominance online. So again, this gives us a little bit of a better understanding as to how important this really is. And the Genius Act would be revolutionary for the entire digital space, and I'm sure a lot of people are starting to realize that. Moving forward, just wanted to kind of give you guys an updated list on the XRP ETF filing with the SEC. We got Bitwise, Canary Capital, 21 shares, Wisdom Tree, ProShares, Grayscale. The list goes on and on. And of course, Franklin Templeton. Of course, BlackRock is missing, and I really wanted to kind of go over this comment right here. No ETF will be approved before BlackRock files one, which is quite interesting because your boy Crypto ZX has also kind of stated that as well. Maybe they're waiting for this official lawsuit to be over for good, like to judge to really end this for good, and then then maybe they're looking into coming up with the XRP ETF, because right now all these firms, do you think these guys are friends with BlackRock? These guys are all competitors to one another, and of course they all want to have a share of the pie. And you guys can see this for yourself. Franklin Templeton, $1.5 trillion assets under management. So this of course is huge. When this announcement came out, of course I made it clear how important this really was. So $1.5 trillion asset manager. Imagine BlackRock comes on board, and Fidelity. That would be a game changer. Moving forward, Fedwire settlers over $1 quadrillion per year. That's 15 zeros, 1,000x bigger than 1 trillion. Volant and Finstra, both Ripple partners, are key tech providers for Fedwire. Ripple plus XRP and Fedwire plus quadrillion. So of course you guys can see, Ripple is not partnering with small players. They're partnering with giants. And again, this is one of the perfect examples right in front of us. Moving forward, Circle officially created a bi-directional pointer to their issued USDC on the XRPL by uploading an XRP Ledger TOML file to their website. The issuer account is now properly verified. USDC is fully collateralized US dollar stable coin. And on top of that, Jake says XRP serves a purpose beyond speculation by offering utility with the ability to solve real-world problems. The value is in the protocol itself, and that is what actually a lot of people don't see. A lot of people take a look at the price. What's happening with the price? Is the price exploding? If the price is not exploding, they're just going to overlook, what Ripple and, the use case of, the XRP ledger. But I'm sure, the real true XRP holders don't overlook that. But let's take a look at this. This is some breaking news, of course. Coinbase is seeking approval from SEC to offer blockchain-based stocks, according to Reuters, interview interview. According to the crypto exchange, Chief Legal Officer Paul, Coinbase is looking to offer a tokenized equities to its customers in the form of these stock shares, which again is crazy. Imagine this happens. This will again show the world the importance of tokenization and how this is, a complete shift of the way we do finance. You can see the move would allow Coinbase to offer stock trading via blockchain technology effectively. This service is already offered by retail brokerage, including Robinhood and Charles Schwab. The concept is a huge priority, but Coinbase, when it comes to the fiat gateway, it's I think arguably the biggest fiat gateway in the world. So of course, that would be massive. And again, Coinbase is a publicly traded company, and that's also something, we need to keep in mind. Currently, tokenized equities are not available for trading in the US. However, several firms are experimenting with offering these products. Coinbase rival Kraken said last month that it's launching tokens of US equities called X stocks, which will be available in the select markets outside the US. This paves a path for bringing these blockchain-based stocks to the US, and the concept is eventually approved by the SEC. If the concept is eventually approved by the SEC, the regulator has yet to comment publicly on Coinbase pitch, though. Again, big movements happening. And now if you're looking at the Bitcoin dominance going into Wednesday morning, you are seeing the dominance picking up. BTC, on the other hand, is something you would need to really keep in mind. You're looking at Bitcoin currently sitting at about 105,400. It has seen an uptick since our last update at $103,000. So BTC is kind of seeing that sideways momentum. As I've stated to you guys before, expect volatility this week. We have seen a fair share of that already happening. If you're looking at XRP right now, hanging around this $2.16, pretty much still in the 38.2. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Keep very close eyes on BTC. If Bitcoin is able to break back above 106,800, I do personally believe, dominance could pretty much see a little bit of a cool off, which could cause alts to, push up. And XRP, I'm targeting still the $2.32 to be that major level that, we need to break above, which kind of gives us a clear indication of where we're going next, which again is in this red zone of the 23.6. But let me know down below what you guys think. We'll see you later in Crypto ZX, and peace out.